Shots fired. MLK and Pencil. MLK and Pencil. Shots fired. Rotating at 10-18.
Keep your hands up.
Where y'all at?
At the MLK. They're coming. MA-15 to Evolve Dispatch on Marshall Private. Relocating to the intersection of MLK and Tinsel, reference to a officer-involved shooting.
Stay for a route.
Break, Monique.
Good.
Y'all contact MA1, the Ward Marshal, and MA3.
Show me your hands, man.
Oh.
I heard the shots. No, I'll tell you that, bro. You got some sanitizer? I got no gloves, no nothing. They got any weapons on them?
I have no idea. Whenever I pull on the side,
They got more than one subject in that motor, right? Oh. On the passenger side.
there's a juvenile.
Right. Oh, no, let's get this dude out of here. So who got gloves? You got him a little boy in his head, man. You got your gloves? Who got gloves?
I'm not in my unit, Jason.
Dispatch, MA-15.
1071 dispatch.
Okay, then, General. Waiting on the update unit.
Tempo, we're 1097.
That's 10 for need further assistance.
1050, not at this time.
Temple. Any still injured?
Severe to critical.
Temple.
Derek got in? Hey, Kevin.
You're going to get the SO from one of the detectives you heard on him.
Hey.
Push the. Oh yeah, the advocating to be in or out.
Contact his SO detective. He won't be the one.
It'd be the state police, correct?
State police, road police. Whoever wants to, one of them.
Well, I think chief is supposed to be in or out.
Probably not going to call under any decision. So that police can't do it. Yeah. Because it's all the part. You know that. Yeah. I don't think. great. Want me to call state police?
What we're gonna do is
No, listen.
we're gonna get all these people away. We're gonna block this off and block this off over here.
I think they contacted Ibu. Let Ibu come and he'll make that decision as to if he's gonna call
Yeah, as far as that,
the sheriff's
I'm just
office.
gonna try to get this. Anybody got yellow tape? Do you have some?
I don't have I'm not in my record.
You see, I'm not in my regular unit, Jason. Let me. Inmate 15.
Is paperwork needed enter?
Temple.
Simple.
Say it again.
Is he hit at all?
Who?
The driver.
Yeah.
I never saw a kid before, man.
Yeah, he's the kid is.
I never saw a kid, bro. We was telling him to stop. Give him more names.
Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Where is he?
Anybody else has gloves? Y'all want to maybe pull that juvenile out and see if he...
Well, I hate to touch anything. I know till Kaden gets here, man. I hate to... The only reason I'm doing him because he's the driving suspect.
That pulse.
Still working on him? He's got one?
It's been faint.
You shot?
No. Did you? Oh my God. Oh. Sorry, humble. They're 1097. It doesn't pay for us to.
612. 612. Copy 612. 97. Okay.
They're already here. They're already 1097, so it doesn't pay for us to. Listen, if the sheriff's office is here, nobody
Nobody
Okay. So, the office involved shooting. They got shells everywhere. I'm just stay to the rear until Chief gets here. I guess I don't know if they're gonna contact. They're gonna get the sheriff's office investigated or the state police investigated. I'm assuming It'll be the state police,
Okay, that's fine.
but I don't know anything right now. It's
Okay, you guys need some crime scene tape or anything?
yes, if you don't mind. If y'all want to,
It's not an officer who got shot. Right?
no, the officer didn't get shot, but 2 subjects did.
Alright. I just got a call with Dan when I was pulling up. I need to get some information, let them guys know. Dispatch, all they know is the shooting.
Okay.
That's all they're telling me.
Well, if the officer involved shooting, it was a pursuit that was called in.
We want to call your supervisors and see if y'all detectives want to work it, or for us to call the state police.
Okay. So
We can't work it since it's
Right.
we involved.
Right.
So since you the supervisor, I guess call your supervisor and see if they want to work it, or the state police.
Thank you, PD.
Okay.
So we
Go
know
ahead and
the call.
contact the boys in fact. Advise them to contact Louisiana State Police
And get us some help.
and get that's working in the area to give us a phone call.
Okay. Chief's doing that?
He's supposed to be calm. The actual, the PRUMMELL.
And on your traffic?
The war marshal that shot. But still, since he's working for the police department also.
Contact the sheriff's office, dispatch. Advise them to contact Louisiana State Police and get the unit that's working in this area to give us a phone call.
32. Is that Polo's MA1?
3.
That's Temple.
We're going to be meeting the helicopter at Marshall Hospital.
For the juvenile?
You want to do it?
You advise the juvenile deceased?
Can we just have to do it for policy? I mean, dog.
That's fine.
Kenon?
Everyone's done is fine.
Hey, let's move on.
That's Temple, thank you. Brent.
Marksville, Louisiana. A federal lawsuit has now been filed against several Louisiana law enforcement agencies for the fatal shooting of 6-year-old Jeremy Martys, who suffered immensely on November 3, 2015, due to a barbaric and excessive use of deadly force. Attorneys representing Christopher Few, Jeremy's father, who suffered serious injuries in the incident, mother, Catherine Martys, and Candace Few, whose vehicle her brother, Christopher, drove the night of the shooting, filed a federal civil lawsuit on Thursday in an attempt at justice for the needless death of the young child. In fact, video footage of the incident so shocked Louisiana State Police Colonel Mike Edmondson. He told reporters in November, "It is the most disturbing thing I've seen, and I will leave it at that." According to the lawsuit, referenced by COPWATCH, defendants include Norris Greenhouse Jr. and Derek Stafford, the 2 former Marksville Ward 2 deputy marshals facing second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder in the case. Both pleaded not guilty and are facing separate trials. But the lawsuit also names as defendants Marksville City Marshal Floyd Voynch, the Marksville City Court, the town of Marksville, Avoyelles Parish, Progressive Palo Verde Insurance Company, and the other 2 officers involved in the chase of Few that night, Jason Bouillette and Kenneth Parnell III. On November 3, 2015, according to the original police account, the 4 officers were attempting to serve a warrant for Few, who then fled in his sister's Kia Sport, with Jeremy buckled in the passenger seat. Police had claimed Few was armed and posed an imminent deadly threat, so officers Greenhouse and Stafford opened fire, emptying 18 rounds at the vehicle, critically injuring Few and killing the 6-year-old, who had autism. In actuality, no warrant had been issued for Few, and both father and son were unarmed. Indeed, as video evidence shows, Few had his hands in the air when he received 2 or 3 bullets to the head and chest, while Jeremy suffered 4 or 5 shots to the head and neck. Appallingly, Jeremy languished in agony, still holding on to life for over 5 minutes after being shot multiple times, but officers failed to even check for a pulse or render assistance. During this time, Jeremy was bleeding profusely and suffered immensely due to the gunshot wounds, the lawsuit states, according to COPWATCH. It was not until approximately some 7½ to 8 minutes or so after the hail of gunfire, that an officer at the scene, believed to be Parnell, finally checked Jeremy for a pulse and discovered that he was still alive, despite having been shot multiple times including in the head and neck, it reads. However, none of the officers at the scene, including Stafford, Greenhouse, Brulette and Parnell initiated or rendered any form of first aid, nor did they undertake any other measures in an attempt to stop Jeremy's bleeding or otherwise alleviate or mitigate Jeremy's suffering, or made any attempts to save his life. Sadly, Jeremy was left to suffer and die, while the officers casually searched for gloves. An exact motive for the original traffic stop, given the fictitious claim of a warrant and that Few did not have a weapon, has yet to be publicly released by officials. Attorneys for Greenhouse and Stafford stated during court proceedings Few had been standing in the road, blocking traffic, ignored officers' commands, and then fled the scene. But the lawsuit contends there had been no clear reason for police to pursue the vehicle Few was driving, and when he ultimately did pull over, the vehicle, even if it were moving forward or backwards, did not and could not have presented an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to any of the officers at the scene or innocent bystanders. As video clearly shows, Few pulled to the side of the road, raised his arms above his head and made no threatening gestures. In other words, he posed not even the slightest legitimate threat to their safety. The lawsuit continues. Moreover, at the time the pursuit of Christopher was initiated, and thereafter during the pursuit, none of the officers had reasonable or probable cause to believe that Christopher had committed some crime, was committing a crime, or was about to commit a crime. The pursuit was unlawful, as was the subsequent use of deadly force. Fatally shooting a 6-year-old child wasn't the first brutal act by either Stafford or Greenhouse. As the Free Thought Project reported, the pair of rageful cops have a history of brutalizing their town with impunity, and as the lawsuit notes, it seems no vetting procedure was in place when Greenhouse and Stafford were hired. Additionally, when attorneys made a public records request with Marksville City Marshal Floyd Voynch for hiring, training, and disciplinary guidelines concerning deputy marshals, they received a telling one-sentence reply: "No such records exist." The need for such policies is so obvious, COPWATCH quotes the lawsuit, for the safety of the public and the protection of constitutional rights that the lack of such policies constitutes deliberate indifference and a reckless disregard for the public and plaintiffs' constitutional rights. But the fact it took an innocent 6-year-old's death to force a city to examine such policies is endemic of brutal policing in the United States. And one means officers can employ to work around appropriate discipline is to resign and simply move on to the next department. In late September, in a stunning act of hubris, Stafford again requested charges be dropped since he acted in self-defense, despite damning evidence to the contrary. The family of Jeremy Martys is requesting a jury trial in this lawsuit. Read more at http://freethoughtproject.com/54107-2/#D5CJabsquag.99.